What's up? What's up? What's up, Solar Warriors? What's up, Solar Warriors? Today is Tuesday, March 19th, 2024. My name is Jarrett McAllister, the virtual Solar Pro. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your fellow solopreneurs. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell because we are dropping trainings like this. Also, the brand new Virtual Solar Pro podcast, brand new episodes are hitting live constantly, and you'll be notified as soon as they do. You'll be the first to get this information. So today we are super excited. We have an amazing training for you. I would like to say what's up to my co-host today, Mr. Tommy Cotter. What's up, Tom? How are you, brother?
Jarrett. Happy first day of spring.
It is the first day of spring.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those summer AC bills are coming. Summer AC bills are coming.
Yes, yes. And pro tip for all you guys out there, right now is the time. If you have clients or people who are interested in going solar, they need to go solar yesterday if they want to get their systems installed to prevent these massive summer electrical bills. Do not wait till June, July. They will not even, feel the benefits until after summer, and that's a bummer. And then also with, NEM 3 and how it works if you're selling in California, you want to make sure they take advantage of those high credits that they receive in August, September to offset some winter bills. So something to think about. Yes, you guys, we have an incredible training for you today. We are going to be talking to some of the women in power. It is Women's Month, so we love to celebrate our women in power. We have so many amazing women with our company, and they're going to be sharing some secrets to their success. We're going to be talking about referrals and networking. But before we get into that, Tom, should we do some success stories? What do you think?
Let's do it. I want to hear some sales wins. What have you guys been selling out there?
Yes. So if you have a win, raise it in the chat, raise your hand, drop it in the chat. I'll call on a few of you. Oh, Mr. Jared Foster. You know what? This should be fun, actually, because I got something to say to Mr. Foster, but go ahead, brother. What do you got?
Well, first of all, I'm coming live from Lodi, California. So I'm here at a coffee shop and about to meet a new broker. So falling right into the networking. But yes, so through networking, I was able to build a relationship with a real estate agent who referred me over to a client, her processor. And last week, while I was in Big Sur traveling, I was able to get on a Zoom at the hotel lobby. And we did I think it was a 13 point something size system. Franklin Batteries, whole home. She's doing her site survey today with the new site survey scheduler we have, which was awesome to go through that on a Zoom. And she did the 10.49 same as cash finance. And so we're super with SunGage. So we're super excited about that. And then this week, tomorrow, again, through another networking event that I helped sponsor, I'm now doing a presentation in front of 7 real estate agents and loan officers about power.
Absolutely incredible, brother. You are crushing it. No, keep your mic on because we got to talk about this really quick. As you guys just heard, he's networking with who? Realtors, right? Realtors work with what? Homeowners. They are a trusted source of information for their home. Realtors are also what? Not doing the best they've ever done right now. It's no secret. Market is down. Interest rates are high. James, we're going to mute you. Go ahead. Bam. So I have a funny story. Yesterday, I was going through some old leads, following up, and I reached out to this homeowner in Lodi, and I called her, and she goes, Jerry, what number are you calling me from? You changed your number? And I was like, no, this is the same phone number I've had since 2010. She was like, oh, I was like, yeah, I was just calling to follow up to, because see if you guys were still interested in going solar. Have you gone solar? She was like, yeah, we went solar with you with Powur. I was like, oh, you did? I said, that's interesting because you didn't go solar. She was like, this is Jarrett, right? I said, or she said, this is Jared, right? I said, this is Jarrett. Are you thinking of a Jared? And she goes, oh, this is awkward. Yes. I said, what's his last name? Is it Foster? And she says, yeah, Jared Foster. Oh, congratulations. You went solar. She was like, yeah, my realtor introduced me to Jared. And so we ended up going. I thought it was the same company, a little bit of confusion there. And so I first congratulated her on the decision to go solar, that she's going with Powur, which is a phenomenal company, and that Jared is an absolute stud and will take great care of her. And she made a great decision. All in the meantime, I'm saying, shit, how did I not follow up with her sooner? That's my bad. But Jared, man, he took advantage of that opportunity and spoke to her. It just goes to show, you know, if you present to somebody and they're getting bids, which she was getting different quotes, they're going to go solar. And it's not whether they're going to go solar or not. Who are they going to go solar with? And you have to stay on top of these. Jared, you might remember this client. I think she needs to do a relocation with her electrical meter in PG&E territory. About 19 grand. She's dealing with that right now. Oh, you're on mute, bro.
Yeah, so we have A&J working on that, and it is about going to be a 6 month to a year process, and it's about $19,000 to have that done. But all disclosure, I went in and just did the presentation, had no idea anybody else was in there. She didn't tell me that there was another Powur rep in there. So, but yes, coming back to it. So Miguel and Rigo is the agent on this one, and they've brought me a ton of business. So, you know, they're now Miguel, who's the team lead on that, has now became a seller on the platform with Powur. I'm going through the training with him, finishing up some things. And so his brother will be, you know, working within his team and so on and so forth. So they both have solar from me as agents. So I always say you should, if you're coming on as an agent, you should self-consume and be your own product. How can you talk about a product if you don't have it? And so they've probably, between that whole team, they've probably done, last year they did about $50,000 with me. So in commissions. And so they keep bringing me a lot of their new clients. So, but yeah, interesting how the Jareds and Jarretts were talking to the same clients. I didn't know, but cheers, brother.
No, it's all good, man. It happens. And like I said, that's on me, right? Like I should have followed up more with the homeowner, which was actually a referral, because we're going to keep the theme here, from an ADT company, right? So this was, you guys figure it out. Partner with companies that touch the home, right? Whether they're touching the home through security, HVAC, their realtor does their loan. These people are going to go solar, and you can show these companies how to add solar to their book of business as an additional stream of revenue, either as an ambassador or as a Powur seller joining the platform. And then you can teach them how to make, solar sales. So incredible, man. Great job on that and all your success, Jared. You got it. You got it. All right. Anybody else? Do not be shy. We love to hear it, big or small. Share some wins. What do you got? Mr. Lee talking about presenting to 2 real estate brokerages with 50 plus agents in April. Game on. Yes, brother. Great job, dude. Jace, you have your hand raised. What's up, man? How you doing, bro? Oh, can we hear you? I think you need to turn your mic on. We can't hear you. Can anybody else hear Jace?
No.
Nah. Shit. All right. We will move on. If we can't hear you. All right. Anybody else? Well, Cynthia in the chat says picked up another real estate office presenting to 50 plus agents. Jeez, man, these are some big brokerages. And it just goes to show entire offices are willing to listen to solar reps, because once again, solar's not going anywhere, right? It's part of home ownership now. And you either get with it or you get left behind. And I think Marisa can also speak to that here in a little bit. So Jace, I don't know what happened to your microphone. You're unmuted, but something ain't working. We can talk about that next week. We'll get on that. All right. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and move on. Thank you for sharing your success stories. Tom, do you have some inspirational wisdom for the crew today?
I do. There's a little bit longer than a quote today. There's actually a conference going on in Houston, Texas this week, right? I'm going to mute some people.
I got it.
Okay. So it must have been wonderfully reassuring in the moment at the Mega Oil Conference that's underway in Houston, Texas this week, amid all of the discomfort that the oil and gas industry has caused that has been caused in the oil and gas industry by net zero and talk of the transition to solar. Along comes a leader who just spoke his mind this week. No need to mention all that troublesome stuff about rising temperatures, dangerous heat waves, and having to set climate targets, even when you have no plans to meet them. No pressure from this leader to look a little bit green or to come up with some folksy line about how oil executives also want a better world for their children. Just say what you're thinking. So it was such a relief that the CEO of Aramco, Amir Nassar, what he said this week, and he was applauded when he said the transition to clean energy is failing and the world should abandon this fantasy of phasing out oil. It's true that Saudi Arabia oil gushes out of the desert at an extremely low upfront cost, but it doesn't look like Nassar has checked out the latest prices for solar. And also saying that clean energy isn't ready is a bit like pointing out that a plant that you have failed to water looks a bit withered. In reality, the oil industry hasn't wanted solar to flourish because it is a competitor to them. So as you are on social media, as you are watching the news, if you hear negative things about solar, the transition to clean energy, keep in mind where the source of those information bits are coming from. Because if you look at what we're doing, the future is really bright and the best is yet ahead.
So true, man. And yeah, that goes for any information you see out there on the internet. I don't think I'm breaking any news, but look at the source of the information, follow the money, right? I mean, the biggest transfer of wealth in human history is going to be through renewable energy. People don't want to give up their big bucks, right? Their security, they're going to fight tooth and nail, right, in this fight against renewable energy. And that's why you guys are solar warriors, right? The solar warrior tribe is to keep fighting that fight. Big oil ain't helping out any of these homeowners' PG&E bills, right? Or their high electric bills. Solar energy is, and solar energy is at a point right now. The cost is so ridiculously inexpensive. It's a win every single time. And not just from a financial aspect, but also from an environmental aspect of it. To produce clean producing energy right there from your rooftop only needs to travel 10, 15 feet to power your home. It's no wonder that they're shaking in their boots a little bit right now. More people have gone solar over the past few years than the past 30, 40 years combined. And we're getting the hockey stick effect, and we're just getting started. So thanks for sharing that, Tom. That is awesome. Let's go ahead and talk about, I don't know if you have the slides up or available to share the slides for some upcoming events, but while you're getting that set up, I do want to share one thing for you guys, and that is powurcalendar.com. If you guys do not know about powurcalendar.com, I don't know even what you're doing here or how you get by here on the platform. Let me share my screen. Go ahead. Give me a good share. All right. There we go. All right. You guys can see my screen.
Yes.
This is literally your guide to everything that's going on with Powur. As you can see today, if you didn't know about this training through Facebook and notifications and Renasso's mass text, you would just go to Powur Calendar right here, click the link, gets you there. If you are a seller in Florida, we have a market development meeting literally dedicated to your market right here. And it's on Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. SunGauge literally has trainings on their loan products. Later today, we have Nevada's going to be having their market development meeting. I'm pretty sure Colby West and Christopher Perez will be heading that. Later, then we have Colorado, Utah, Idaho, Breakthrough Mastermind to literally create a game plan for your solar business success with Jim Bunch. That is tomorrow and every single Wednesday. Point is here, you guys, we have so many trainings. I mean, beyond, you could spend all day training. Now, obviously, you're not going to make any money training. You got to generate electric bills. That's how we get paid here in the industry. But to further your knowledge, make sure you get on these, pencil them in, put them on your Google Calendar, dedicate time to, leveling up your knowledge. So make sure you get to powurcalendar.com. I'm going to go ahead and drop that in the chat. So let me put that here. Tom's going to go ahead and share a couple things. Go ahead and do that.
Just future trainings. There's a rhythm. We haven't talked about this maybe in a little bit, but there is a rhythm of Powur Calendar that starts off with Power Hour on Monday nights. Great job last night, Jarrett and team. Then we have team training that is happening right now. There's market development meetings that happen through the week. There is, lease PPA training, enterprise training. Power On for new tier 1 sellers happens on the second Thursday of the month, again on Powur Calendar. And every Friday, for those of you that like the idea of revenue share, every Friday is Building with Bobby. I'm actually going to be a guest trainer this week on that. I'm going to be talking about a couple different things, but key events that are in the calendar this year for you to leverage to grow a team in Powur, and also how I paid my business taxes this year with some credit cards and got a Southwest Companion Pass for my wife, so she flies free with me for 2 years, and got a free plane ticket to Power World Conference in Orlando. So I'm just going to be talking about some travel hacking kind of stuff that relates to the key events that you need to be aware of and be planning for if you want to build a team in Powur.
Awesome. No, that's great stuff, you guys. I mean, definitely get on there. Building with Bobby is a can't miss if you're looking to build a team and, get some of that revenue share for sure.
We've got the promo that's going for new sellers where if they're signing up as a seller or a pro account, that the $99 activation fee is waived. That is through March 31st. Great time to reach out to people that you've been talking to about Powur. SolarCon is coming April 18th through 20th. Jonathan has a discount code. He doesn't get anything from that. He's not making affiliate money from that.
I think he gets a Starbucks gift card or something like that.
It could be a Starbucks gift card. So that discount is still in effect, I think. I mentioned it, but Powur World, PowurConvention.com is where you can get your ticket for that. Make sure that you pick up a convention ticket and a gala ticket together. You don't want to miss out on the gala. That was super fun last year. I mean, Powur puts on a great event. So you do not want to miss this, not just because it's fun. You get to see people that you've been living vicariously through Zoom over the last year, but it's really, it really helps to put some pieces together for almost everybody who attends to see what they can do in their Powur business. So highly recommend that. I think we want to pass it off here to our guest, right, Jarrett?
Yeah, we definitely do. One last thing on Powur World and seeing all of us in person. I will say, never in my life was I called the treadmill guy and people coming up to me and being like, dude, you're the treadmill guy. And I can't believe I'm the freaking treadmill guy. That is just weird. Yeah, we are going to pass it off to our guests today. We have an amazing training. And as I mentioned earlier, this is it is Women's Month, and we are going to be celebrating women in power today. And some of the most badass women on the freaking platform are going to be sharing some secrets to their success with generating leads and networking. Let me bring on Miss Cynthia Alvidrez, Cynthia Alvidrez, and Marisa Fletcher. Shit, I botched that one. What's up, ladies? How are you?
Hey, what's up? Don't worry, I responded to that all my life in school, Alvarez, so that's okay.
And hey,
Speaking of-
everybody.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of school, Cynthia, we did a podcast last week, and you talked a little bit about your times in high school, how you were like a mean girl, and how you used to beat up on the new ones because you came from East
No.
LA. Nah. But no, hey, we had fun on the podcast last week. And for those who didn't see it, I am going to go ahead and drop that in the chat right now. If you guys want to hear about Cynthia's story and how she went from the mean streets of East LA to approaching $1 million jacket here as a virtual solar pro, go ahead and check that out.
Gangsta. Just kidding.
Gangsta. There you go. Well, what's up, Marisa? How you doing?
I'm doing just wonderful. Hello, my friends. How you guys doing?
We're living the dream over here. So what do you guys have for us today? I'll let you guys just kind of take the floor. Like I mentioned, I mean, you guys are some of the most badass women on the platform. You guys absolutely crush it. You guys crush numbers. You guys crush sales. You guys crush it with building a team. Everybody wants to know, how do you do it?
Awesome. Thanks, Jarrett. We're going to go ahead and share some slides today that we put together. Let me go ahead and bring those up real quick.
Awesome.
All right. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and present these. I'm going to close your cute little faces really quick, and then I will present this. Can you see full screen or no?
Yeah, for the most part, if you want to like full screen your web browser.
Odd. Okay, let me figure this out. Technical difficulties. Present. Oh, there we go. Okay, awesome.
There you go.
There we go.
All right, my friends, I'm going to go ahead and let Marisa open this up and just tell you what we're training on today. And any questions you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat throughout the training, and we will make sure to pause at the end for some questions. Take it away, Marisa.
Yes. Thank you, Miss Cynthia. Appreciate you as always. And again, welcome to our training, everyone. For those that don't know me, because there's quite an audience, I feel good. But for those that don't know me, my name is Marisa Fletcher, and I am a solar realtor here in the IE. And so today, what we are going to be sharing with you guys are the questions that Cynthia and I get the most. We get them a lot. Some of you know we specialize with working with other real estate agents, real estate offices, and what we do is networking. Our main claim to fame is networking, being consistent, getting out there, getting in front of real estate agents, getting in front of offices. So this training here, what we put together was the who, what, when, where, and how we do what we do. So if you pay attention, what we hope that you get out of this is a couple of things. Number one, you're gonna find how you can grow a six-figure revenue stream just by networking, the same way Cynthia and I have. Six figures or multiple six figures, depending on how much you put into it. Also, a little bit later in the slides, one of the main questions we always get is there's other partners, there are people in power that want to work with realtors, just like we heard from Jared earlier. So we're going to share with you how you work with those offices, what you present, what you say, what do those slides look like that we share. And so we've got all that here in this training for you. And if you stick around to the end, we'll drop some info in the chat. So that's what you got. Go ahead, Ms.
Awesome. Yeah, and these will be the categories we're going to go over. We're going to talk about events first. Marisa is going to lead with events. She does a ton of events. We're going to talk about member networking, so professional networks where you actually can become a member to network and receive referrals like BNI, like TEAM. We're going to go into that solar 101 that Marisa was talking about. At the end, we'll share some networking tools, and I will be sharing my slides with you guys at the end. That is the number one question I get is, can I have your slides that you work so hard to make yourself? And I'm like, sure, I'd be happy to share them with you guys. It's a lot of the information that's already on the Powur platform. I just organize it in a way that makes sense, right? Makes sense for realtors. And we'll talk more about that. But go ahead, Marisa. Let's open it up with events. This is going to be an event idea jogger for you guys, local events that we have participated in and that you can participate in. Go ahead, Marisa.
Awesome. Awesome. So again, one of my claims to fame is my specialty is doing events. The goal is just to be consistent, get out there and just find more events and people to connect with. So each event on this slide are events that I've actually done in the last 3.5 years or so with Powur. And I'm just going to go through each one and talk to you a little bit about each one. The biggest one is lunch and learn events. What do I mean by that? One of the biggest questions I always get is, how do I connect with realtors or broker offices? How do I get them to come out? And I always tell people, think about what's in it for me, right? And so I'm going to give you a tip for realtors. We like to eat. We like lunch and learns. We like it to be quick, an hour and a half, lunch and learn, free food. I'll be there. Okay. So think about lunch and learn events. They can actually be online lunch and learns as well. The idea is people are eating lunch while they're learning. But the live lunch and learn events really work well to get connected with people. Real estate events. So realtors like to do events and get together and socialize. There's 2 really big events that happen in almost every city where there's a local real estate board. They're called chili cook-offs or wine tasting. So realtors get together and they prepare chili and you go around and you taste them and you pick the winners, right? Huge events that are always happening. And then realtors like to get together, especially down here in the Inland Empire in the IE, where we're near the Temecula area, and go wine tasting. Usually we get together in buses. They're sponsored by someone. So we have someone in the front pitching their product, talking about whatever. Why can't that be a solar rep? Okay, talking about solar. Church partnerships. In the very beginning, church is your church, not churches. Let me rephrase that. When I say church partnerships, I'm talking about the church that you participate in, that you're familiar with, where everybody knows, trusts, and likes you. Great event to go there and talk about solar with people. Open houses with realtors. So realtors every Saturday and Sunday, some Fridays, are holding open houses. A solar partner can come in there and do a little booth with some material, co-branding you and that realtor, and do an open house that way. You can also do a solar open house. You just had an install somewhere. Some people call them solar parties. You just had an install in the neighborhood. You can do an open house. Come with your tent, your table. I've done that, very successful doing those type of events. You've got Earth Day events that happen every year, small business expos, and it can literally be any type of expo. It can be a food expo. It can be any type of expo, right, that you can get a booth at. Of course, you can host a Powur Day event. Powur Days don't have to be huge. They can. We're going to show you how we did a very big event where a bunch of us got together and hosted that event. Or you can do smaller one-off events. I actually did a Powur Day at a local board one time where realtors came. Okay. Your local gym. You go to the gym, a consistent gym that you go to a couple days a week. Wear something solar related. Not really an event, but an idea. It's how you can make connections with people and get more business. Renewable energy groups, those are really, really big. Actually, Cynthia and I are heavily involved in one, the U.S. Green Energy Council in the Inland Empire. It's a group that's been around for over 20 years, focused on renewable energy. They needed a division in the Inland Empire, and here we are to serve them. Okay, so get involved with those groups.
I want to say something really quickly about that. It's really interesting, you guys, how we work in sustainable energy, but when we go to these events that are for our environment and for renewable energy, there's almost never a solar person there, which is kind of ironic, right? And there are tons of businesses and people that show up that are like ready to go solar and open to hearing about solar. So those are great events. That was very, I can't exaggerate enough how cool those events are for making connections. We have made so many great connections from there. So okay.
Exactly. And just a few more. So the Electric Vehicle Day Parade, I know there's one in San Diego. I think they're on their 11th or 12th annual one. Electric vehicle, solar, just makes sense. Elementary school events. If you're a PTA mom, or you're part of the PTA, or you're highly involved. I know Cynthia goes to the park with her kids, right? They play softball, right? Or anything like that, where you have that relationship, right? Because we know with solar, a lot of times people don't go solar because they don't trust the person that they're talking to, right? So the idea is to get in front of people that know, trust, and like you, and to talk about solar. This video right here is an event that 5 of us got together, 3 realtors and 2 solar pros. So Cynthia, myself, Jonathan, and a couple of other realtors got together, and this is what our event was in Rancho Cucamonga. So we had our pop-ups there. We filled that room by the time we finished networking. So there were realtors, lenders, escrow officers, broker owners were there. Called Solar Side Hustle in Diamond Bar. So events, great for business, great for content, right?
I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to play the video.
That's okay. That's okay. Go ahead.
Were you guys able to hear the video? I'm curious.
It was like, if you don't share your sound on the share, it was like kind of coming through the speaker in the background. I was trying to mute somebody. I was like, oh shoot, someone's coming through. Right?
Were you guys able to hear what Marisa was saying at the same time though?
Yes.
Good. Okay, good. All right.
Yes.
So the sound was louder on my end. Okay. Sorry about that, Marisa. Go ahead.
No worries. So we just wanted to give you guys an idea. Again, we called it a lunch and learn. We had some light treats there. We had a coffee cart there, coffee vendor. I don't remember. I know we had a couple hundred people come out to that event. We all invited in. It was just a wonderful event. The key thing is the follow-up though, the follow-up that we do afterwards. So if you go to the next page, I've got one more page on events.
And that was a good idea of a recruiting event, right? Because the other kind of events were more homeowner based, where you're looking for referrals, you're looking for homeowners. That was more an example of
recruiting.
Yeah, sorry. Figure this out here. Here we go.
There we go.
Okay. So these are kind of the basics of what you would need for an event. Sorry, Marisa, this is you. Go ahead.
That's okay. That's okay. Because we always get asked this question. So we wanted to put something up so you can just grab a quick screenshot. Nothing too fancy. QR code for contact information. We don't do business cards a lot. We'll do a QR code so we can capture their info, and also they capture ours on their phone. Tablecloth, raffle items, right? People love to be entered in a raffle. We even have the little spin wheel where you can spin for a vacation or a chance to win a raffle. Pop-up banners, a little questionnaire. So depending on the event, you can have a little questionnaire with 4 boxes. You know, do you want to know about solar? Do you want a $1,000 referral? Do you want a free solar discovery consultation? Things like that. Laptop, pens, paper. Then you want to have convenience items like coffee, water, or snacks. And if the event is big enough, you can always have a sponsor. So one thing I didn't get to mention on the other slide was that a lot of these events that are being held, they want sponsors. They want someone that's going to come and give $150, $200 so that you get your name on the flyer and get to speak in front of that group and collect all the names of the attendees. Okay. So I think that's super important. After you do regular events, now you need more events to do. I think you should look for sponsorships. They're not always super expensive, $150, $200, but it gets you in front of a room of potential realtors, homeowners, etc.
Definitely. And then another thing that I wanted to mention with events is when you have a booth, when you're at an event where you have a booth, you have to have something on your booth that attracts people to stop and talk to you. So like Marisa said, if you have raffle items, the raffle items are very, very important. I wouldn't run an event with a booth without having a raffle item or a spin the wheel. Something that's fun for people to stop by. I've seen other people do really creative things like a basketball hoop, or just, fun things. Having candy convenience items like coffee, water, snacks will help people stop because they want those things for free. They don't necessarily want to talk to you, but it will naturally happen as they're at your booth. And so a lot of the people that are generating leads at a high level, they're doing a few of these things. Can you do everything virtually? Yes. But the reality of it is, you guys, that a lot of the top mentors like Marisa, who's a top mentor, like Jonathan Brunasso, like myself, we are doing a lot of virtual networking, but we're also doing a lot of events as well. All right.
Hey,
So,
really quick, can I just jump in on one of those tips that I absolutely love? And that is, you mentioned we don't do business cards. I see so many solar pros in the beginning, or people who just start with the business. One thing that prevents them from getting out there and networking is they go, I don't have any business cards yet. I'm waiting on my business cards. And I say, stop. First of all, when someone says, can I get a card? It's usually their way of just politely saying, no, thank you, right? We are here to get leads. We are a solar company. Giving out business cards is a waste of paper. We are a technology platform. Make a digital card contact in your phone, share it with them, text it to them. Then you get what? You get their information as well. So I just wanted to say that's a great, great idea. And thanks for pointing that out.
definitely. And, a lot of us are working virtually. So it's really nice to book an event because people are always looking for sponsors, you guys. Like Marisa said, they're always looking for sponsors. So book an event, sit there, work on your laptop, and also generate in person as well. So yeah, nice mention on that, Jared, too. So let's talk a little bit about member networking. This one's pretty straight to the point, right? So when I talk about member networking, I'm talking about groups like BNI, TEAM, LATIP. We'll throw in the Chamber of Commerce because you do pay annually for those things. And there are a lot of similar groups like this. If you guys have not heard of these groups, for those of you that are new, and I know the people who have been on here attending regularly, we're a broken record about this. But I will tell you that even though we're a broken record about BNI and TEAM, I still know the majority of people on this call are not a part of one of these groups. And I think that is absolutely bananas, you guys, because I added up my slowest year when I got in commissions from one of these groups, and it was 70K in 1 year in referrals from one of these groups. It was the slowest year that I have been a part of TEAM for 5 years. And so if you are not a part of one of these groups, you guys, please join one of these groups because it will pay dividends. And so we're going to go over the key points. Marisa, she's a member of a BNI, which stands for Business Networking International. And I'm a part of a group called TEAM, which is Team Referral Network. And these are the key points. They meet once a week. There's a little bit of meet and greet where you have open networking at the beginning of each meeting. And then you have a 1-minute business commercial. So you have the opportunity to talk about what you do, how you do it, where you serve, and any announcements you have. For example, my last meeting, I was like, hey, rates are rising. We help homeowners go solar at no upfront cost. They simply go from what they're paying now to paying less. I have my little sayings that I say to, plant those seeds in my business partners' minds. But these meetings have one real estate agent, one contractor, one life insurance person, and it's exclusive. So you get to be the only, other than the Chamber of Commerce, the TEAM, the BNI, the LATIP, these groups can only have one solar person. That means you get first dibs on any solar referrals. And the whole purpose of these groups is to give you referrals. And you get to eat at the same time. And you know what? We all have to eat, you guys. So usually they meet for breakfast or they meet for lunch. And then once in a while, you do rotate business presentations. So you'll have 10 to 15 minutes to have a very thorough business presentation on your designated presentation day. That is where you really get to show people how, why power, why solar, why now. The other thing, we were just talking about events, right? This is a great place where you have a ton of professionals in one room and you're seeing them every week. They're going to have their own mixers. They're going to have their own events, and you're going to hear about it from them first. And guess what? They're in your community. And so when I go to these meetings, not only am I getting referrals, but I'm getting first dibs on what are the local events happening in my area. And I'm getting first dibs on sponsorship opportunities as well. You also get to have one-on-one sessions with members in the group outside of these meetings. And that's a key component of these groups is you can book one-on-one sessions with your power partners in those groups because maybe there's a roofer in there, maybe there's HVAC. So I'm not going to spend too much time here, you guys. I know you guys have heard of BNI and TEAM. You can go to their website. You can search by solar and open chapters to see what chapters in your area do not have a solar person. You can visit a couple of times before you decide to join. One last thing I'll mention here before I let Marisa say her piece on this is normally, let's say I'm a member of the Upland team chapter, they have a whole network of other chapters that you can go and visit if there's not a solar person there. So even though you're one city like Upland, I have taken advantage of the community of business professionals. And I've gone to Rancho Cucamonga and Ontario and all my neighboring cities that don't have a solar person. And I've gotten referrals from there as well. And so your network is your net worth. I know you guys have probably heard that before, but it is totally true. And Marisa, do you want to add anything to the Team BNI discussion?
I just want to add on to what you said, that it is an invaluable resource and tool to my business. My very first year with BNI, my very first year in solar, I joined BNI right away for solar. I got 13 deals my very first year. And they were so easy, you guys, right? Because when you get referrals from people that know, trust, and like you, you've gotten over that trust factor right away. So BNI is really, really huge for that. Another thing that BNI is huge for is if you're trying to recruit and grow your team. Right. So like Cynthia said, you can literally, I'm in a virtual chapter. I happen to be it's completely online, but I literally with BNI get to go and visit any other chapter that I want a couple times a year, multiple times a year. I can talk to the roofer in this group and say, hey, I'll be your solar partner to this roofer. I've got a couple of those. Okay. Guaranteed referrals. Every time they go out to a roof, they're asking them about solar. Okay. They also have things called power teams, where you get together with maybe 2 or 3 other professionals, and literally every time one person has a lead, they're looking for business from that other professional in that group. So, it's amazing if you work it the way it's supposed to be worked. It's really an amazing resource, and I guarantee you'll have your ROI right away with BNI. Or with team. And remember, it's a contest. That's another thing. It's a contest, right? Team and BNI is like a little contest every year. Us business professionals, we don't want to be on the bottom of the chart every year. So our goal is to pass referrals. And so we make sure that we're passing referrals and that we're leading the way, so to speak, with those referrals. So it's guaranteed to work if you work it. Next slide, Solar 101. So I know this is a big one. This is a huge one. So what we did in front of you was we put together what we call contact spheres in BNI and in TEAM. And these are groups of professionals that can work together to pass referrals to each other, right? So obviously you see how all of these kind of line up with what we do in solar. The benefit of these classes is that we'll go out, we'll teach realtors. Cynthia and I both teach at boards. So at the very top, you have me teaching at IVAR, which is in the Inland Valley Association of Realtors. And then you've got Cynthia teaching at CVAR, which is Citrus Valley Association of Realtors. There's hundreds of local real estate boards all over the place. And we're basically teaching them Solar 101. Solar is a hot topic, literally. I think my topic is solar savvy, how to sell or list homes with solar on them. Okay. And then I go in there, I talk about solar. I talk about the market, where solar's going. And then I specifically talk about things focused towards realtors, if that's because I'm at a real estate board. So literally you can do this with all these groups, right? You can go into a roofing office, do a presentation, gear it towards roofers, and go in there and talk to them about targeting their database. Every time you go out and you look at a new roof, you ask them about their electricity bill, their light bill. Do they have a high bill? Would they like a free solar discovery consultation? Literally. And when you're with team, it's like a little game. Sometimes we'll go out together. We'll talk to the client together. So it's guaranteed business if you work it the right way.
Definitely. And you can partner with a couple of people on this. We wanted to give you more groups than just realtors and lenders, because that's what we talk about the most. I think we all agree that those are the people that are most connected to homeowner decision making. But most recently, I've been booking a class with construction because they want to know more about solar, and they have a huge database that they can tap into. Thank you. Okay. HOAs, right? Do you know someone who's a member of an HOA? Roofers know some about solar, but there are roofers that don't do solar. I thought insurance would be interesting because insurance, they write policies for their employees, and they also do a lot of educational classes in some of their brokerages. And so insurance would be great as well. And Marisa and I were even talking that if you have a group, these are more proactive where, you know, there's not an office already for new home buyers or family and friends, but if you wanted, you could put together an educational Zoom, an educational in-person meeting for new home buyers and make it a community thing, post it in your Facebook community group. Same thing for family and friends. If you had a group of homeowners and family and friends, you could say, hey, come support me. I want to teach you guys about solar just so you're informed. So yeah, just a few ideas there. As far as Solar 101, I know we're coming up close to the 11 o'clock hour, so we're going to go ahead and try to speed through this really quick. But everyone asked the most asked question I get, besides send me your slides, is how do you present to a real estate office? And so the main premise of presenting at any office when you're doing a Solar 101 class, you want to focus on why someone should go solar, right? So why solar is going to look like, well, because utility is expensive and solar is less expensive, right? Rising rates, that's why solar. Why solar is because it's the cleaner, greener choice. And why now would also be rising rates, would be because of the tax credit. Why power would be our 30-year warranty, company stability, company growth, your excellent customer service. And then you want to mention the ambassador program, because more than likely for your Solar 101 classes, whether that's a real estate office or a lending office or a title office, you're going to want to present a referral opportunity. Now, there are a couple different ways to present to a real estate office, because you might have spoken to the broker and they might be interested in getting their agents in on the opportunity as well, right? Of being a seller. That is a different presentation. It's not a Solar 101 class. You're always going to want to do a Solar 101 class first, where you're actually teaching people. Let's take a real estate office, for example. You're actually teaching people what are the differences between a finance product and a cash paid off product. What's the difference between a lease and a PPA? So your Solar 101 class is going to look different than an opportunity where you're showing them, you know, you can sign up and earn 50% of commissions, or you can be an ambassador. And so I never go into an office with a strictly opportunity training. I always go in with the Solar 101, because chances are that whether it's a real estate office or any other industry, they don't know a lot about solar, and you're there to provide value. You want to show how knowledgeable you are. So they say, hey, you know what? This rep really knows her stuff. They're knowledgeable. They're trustworthy. That is the whole point, is to show your knowledge and to teach them things that they can take away and use in their businesses. And so for Solar 101 classes, a lot of our slides are custom because it depends on who we're presenting to. So they're not always the same. For example, this is one slide from Marisa's solar real estate training, where she talks about solar and the MLS. So she's customizing it for real estate agents. Just like if you were working with a roofer, you would customize it for a roofer. But the meat and potatoes are the same. You want to talk about why solar, why now, why power, why you, and the ambassador program. So that is pretty much it for that. I did want to just throw a couple of networking tools out, just to jog your brain on some of these tools. And if you're not using them, my challenge to you would be to pick 2 of these things and get really good at them. So let's take Google, for example. If you guys are looking to network in person, you can type in business networking near me, and it will open up all of the events. It's going to pull from all of these sites, from Meetup, from LinkedIn, from Facebook, from Eventbrite. It's going to pull in all the sites. It's going to put them in chronological order of the dates that are approaching, of what events are happening near you. Google is amazing, you guys. I mean, it's amazing. And so if you want to get started today with booking an event on your calendar this week, next week, that is what I would recommend. LinkedIn is known as one of the best networking sites. I personally do not use LinkedIn, but I know a lot of you do. It's just not my thing. And you don't need to be the master at all of these things. That's why I was saying pick two, get really good at them, at the platforms that you're comfortable with, because these are all good networking tools. I love the Meetup app. If you guys have not heard of the Meetup app, it shows you all local events in your area. You can also create an event from the Meetup app as well. And it just keeps you up to date with what's going on in your area. Facebook is great for networking. If you are targeting Facebook, I like because you can network from out of state. So if you're in a state where we don't operate and you can't really attend local events because you're trying to sell in another state, Facebook is great because they have neighborhood groups. So you can join neighborhood groups in cities you're trying to target. You can advertise your solar 101 classes there, or you can connect with homeowners there as well. You can create Facebook events. The Nextdoor app, I used to get a lot of referrals on here because for my customers that were on Nextdoor, I would tell them, hey, go and post on there how great your service was. And they would refer those people to me. So the Nextdoor app for a long time was very, very fruitful for me. So I just wanted to throw that out there. There's a lot of chatter, homeowner chatter, the Ring app, neighborhood app. Those are all similar apps to Nextdoor app. And Eventbrite. Eventbrite is awesome because you can create your own event, you can host your own event, and you can also get notifications on all the events that are happening near you. Instagram is great because you can network via hashtags. So if you guys are posting anything and you want to post hashtags, anyone who's searching that hashtag, I always hashtag home ownership, homeowners, new homeowner, renovations. And so there are so many hashtags you can put on there and to network on Instagram. TikTok is so underutilized. I know there's a lot of chatter right now about maybe TikTok getting shut down, but TikTok is massive, you guys. It gets so much visibility. And I haven't seen too many people really master the solar side of TikTok, but that is literally where people go to learn about a lot of information now. And so if you can master TikTok, and intentionally schedule time for you to network on there, I think that it would be very fruitful. Again, I do not do all of these apps. I do some of them. I've moved on from some of these apps and moved on to new ones. And I'm sure there's many networking apps that you guys use as well, or many tools that you guys use as well to network. Feel free to drop those in the chat. But my challenge to you would be to pick two of these things, get really good at them, get intentional, schedule it on your calendar. I have a networking day. It's every Wednesday where I intentionally spend at least 4 hours networking, couple in person, a couple on some of these tools. So I think that is it. I'm going to see if Marisa had anything to add to that last slide. And then I will share our contact information with you guys, and I will drop my slides in the chat.
You did a great job covering this. I think one of the key points to reiterate is just pick two and focus on those two, and don't try to be the master of them all. I like Facebook and Eventbrite, so those are the two that I use, and I like to post on there and be consistent. Scheduling time is super important, because the first thing people do once they meet you or talk to you is they look you up. And if they can't find any content or can't find things about you, we call that secret agents in real estate. So I think it's the same thing for solar. So please add in a little bit of these tools, and it'll really help you take your business and your networking to the next level.
We're putting our information here in case you guys want to stay in touch. So feel free to screenshot that really quick if you need it. Follow us on Instagram. I could always use more followers.
Yes. Like, subscribe.
Wow.
Like, subscribe.
You guys, so awesome. Bringing the heat, bringing the fire. It is no wonder why you girls are absolutely freaking crushing it. Multiple six-figure earners, both of you here at Powur. That was an incredible presentation. You guys, I lost my access to the chat. I don't know what's going on with Zoom, but throw some love to these ladies. Tremendous value that they are bringing to the team, sharing, how they're making it happen. Tom, if you could monitor the chat, I'm sure if you guys have any questions, drop them in there. We have, we're up against it, so we'll wrap up the recording. But if you guys have any questions for Marisa or Cynthia, maybe they can stick around for 1 or 2 minutes. But that was incredible. I mean, truly was incredible. And I challenge every single one of you out there. If you are not part of a networking group, get on one and be on one. That's your homework. By next training on Tuesday, it will literally impact and change your life, for the good. You heard what Cynthia said, 70K in her lowest year from team networking. Like it's unbelievable. And they're happy to give referrals. That's what the whole thing is about, is you guys giving referrals for their homeowners. Thank you so much for coming on here and sharing your wisdom with the team. Absolutely incredible stuff. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this recording, and then Salil, we're going to go ahead and do some Q&A right after there.
Oh, thank you.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning into this episode. If you haven't already, subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening. You can also follow me on the socials, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, you name it. All those links will be listed below. Now, if you're looking to get started on the path to selling solar virtually, look no further than Powur. Powur is a decentralized solar platform that gives you the ability to sell 100% virtually in 25 plus states and growing. Their platform gives you the advantage to offer your clients a variety of different panels, inverters, roofs, batteries, and even EV chargers. Brands include Enphase, SolarEdge, Tesla, Franklin, and Span Smart Panels. Powur offers multiple zero-down financing options, including loans, PPAs, and leases. And with their revolutionary cost of goods sold model, 5 different streams of income, and world-class training, there is nothing else like it in the solar industry. If you're looking to get started, go to powur.com. That's POWUR.com/virtual solar pro/join and start selling solar virtually today.